Hey there folks, and welcome back to the I Am CDB project. I, of course, am your host CDB, you're not, and today we're going to use the same thing we used in the face shaving video, the West Coast Shaving Barbershop, which is a nice cooling barbershop type scent, very unique. And if you didn't see the face shaving video, go ahead and go back and check that out first because I'll talk more about the soap. Today I wanted to revisit the Defender versus Harry's because I've been using them off and on, alternating to really get a better feel. I did the first video on that, a week or two ago. I can't recall exactly when I did it. And at the time they came out fairly even, but since that time I've been asked by some folks to elaborate, excuse me, a little more, and I will, because there are some differences, and I'll get into that. So let's go ahead and get lathered up here with our West Coast Shaving Barbershop, which is as I mentioned today in the face shaving video, really nice, sweeter scent, very good quality. At least I think so. I encourage you to check it out if you like sweeter type scents and want to try a duck fat based soap. It's certainly worth a shot. All right, let's see. Make sure we get lathered up here well enough. Slap some on there. I put a lot of water in the soap after my face shaving video. I just wanted to see how it would handle and get a little more water in it, and it's doing fine. Feels good. It's slightly cooling, as the label suggests, which is very nice. All right, we're good to go. That will do. And so what I'm going to do for the first pass is use the Defender from back to front. But first, let me get around the ears. I got to tell you, if you're a head shaver, this is where I think really you have to be the most careful, is right around these ears. Because when I have cut myself, and I haven't cut myself a lot, but a couple of times I have cut myself right around the ears, or actually on the ears, just simply not paying attention. So usually I try to get that area first. What I was going to tell you about the Defender versus the Harry's is the Defender, for my money, is a little more efficient now that I've used them, alternating days. In other words, it takes more hair off faster. The Harry's, however, is a little bit smoother. So it really depends on what you're looking for. If I were in a hurry, and you shouldn't be in a hurry when you're, shaving your head or anything for that matter, but if I were, I would absolutely grab for the Harry's because I know it's going to get closer, quicker. At least that's my perspective. It's efficient. The blades are spaced out a little bit. It doesn't clog as much. That's a plus. And I think someone told me, I did not compare the price of blades, and a lot of that depends on whether you're on a subscription or not, because Defender, if you are on like a monthly or every other month type plan, it's cheaper than if you just buy them, 4 at a time or whatever the case may be. I don't know about Harry's, but anyway, it depends on how you buy them, but they're close in price in terms of blade. And I usually use one for a week, generally speaking. So you're looking at, somewhere around $2 a blade, about $8 a month, which is of course nothing for people who are hobbyists in wet shaving, because we spend far more than that, or when I was spending, it was certainly far more than that. So I'll use about one blade a week, generally speaking. What I find about the Defender is, back here on the back of my head, there are some very difficult areas to reach, and what I find is the Defender reaches it easier without really having to work too hard at it, whereas the Harry's, I have to work a little bit harder to get those areas. However, it's really smooth, and that'd be the way I would really describe the Harry's as a razor. It's smooth. So if you just want a super comfortable shave where it's nice and smooth and just, non-threatening and non-intimidating, the Harry's is just a super, super smooth way to do that. If you want to either go quickly or be more efficient while you're shaving, the Defender, I think I would give the edge to. So it really depends on your needs and what you want to do. And today I'm actually going to use, you know, both. And I used the Defender for that pass, and I'll use the Harry's for the front to back pass. And that's generally on a normal day, what I would do is just 2 passes. And sometimes I'll just do 1 pass just to, you know, get the bulk of it, but not baby butt smooth per se. But when I'm doing a, you know, a BBS head shave, I'll usually do 2 passes, 1 from back to front, 1 from front to back, and then I'll sort of have to go up this way in some of these difficult spots, but it works out. What I'll say is, again, the main difference between these 2 blades, 2 razors, is the you know, aggressive or more efficient versus smooth, and that's all there is to it. And of course, the Harry's are a little more, the blades are spaced further apart, so it doesn't tend to clog as much as the Harry's. It's a little more difficult with the Harry's because those blades are really close together versus the Defender. So, you know, they're both fine carts in my estimation, but you can just feel when you're using this Harry's, it is smooth, smooth, smooth. So if you're sensitive or you have very sensitive skin, this might be a better bet, because you can certainly feel more blade from the Defender, although it does, you know, it shaves quicker and more efficiently is what I've come to learn, at least from my own personal use. You may find that doesn't necessarily work the same way for you, but I believe for most people it would probably be, you know, something similar to what I'm talking about here. What this razor really brings is, first of all, it's a nicer pivot. It just feels, the design of the razor and the handle is nicer. It's a little more weighty. This handle is, you know, not remarkable, and it pivots too. But the way this pivots, you can just tell it's you know, it's probably a little nicer in terms of the way the handle feels and the actual pivot itself, because it just pivots effortlessly. You don't hear any clicks or mechanical stuff, as, you know, I did last week when I was comparing the Dorco, which I just didn't think was a good razor at all for head shaving. At least for me, it just does not do a good job whatsoever. And so this one feels very, very smooth. Very good face shaving razor, really nice and smooth. I would, to be honest with you, for face, when I use a cart, which it isn't often, but when I do, I really prefer this one. If I'm doing my head and I really want to get close quickly, you know, I'll roll with the Defender. So let's see how we're doing. Sometimes I'll miss a little streak, you know, or strip when I'm babbling on the way I am today. It's really, really smooth. And by the way, that soap just allows these babies just to glide over with great residual slickness. All right. I think, boy, we're pretty clean. This spot right here is very difficult. I have to sort of go that way with it. And it is extremely difficult. And there are a few spots, you know, towards the back of my neck and so forth that I have to go over. But all in all, I must say, really, really nice job. Both razors are really fine carts. It's just a matter of efficient, a little rougher on the skin. And I'm not saying it's rough. Of course, they have different blades. This is regular. They have one for sensitive. I have not tried those, so those might be a little smoother, but this one brings it a little more. This one is pretty much, for my money, the ultimate in smoothness. I even like it. I've tried the Gillettes and all that. And, this is one of the better cart blades out there, in my opinion. It's just very, very smooth, very well designed. Now, one thing to note, Harry's a number of times reached out to me and said, those blades aren't designed for head shaving, blah, 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 blah. I know that. But I'm going to use it anyway, Harry's. Sorry. Very good razor overall, despite the fact that they, you know, several times, oh, that's not designed for head shaving, you know. It was almost a scolding type fashion. It wasn't really, but it was like, I tried to explain I'm a hobbyist, you know, I do this quite a bit, I'm sort of into it, and they were having none of it. Nope, we're designing something for head shaving. I think they said something along those lines, but, you know. Whereas the Defender, they have one, the other attachment, the round type, thing is for head shaving. So keep that in mind. Let me go ahead and rinse, and we'll come back and do a quick post. Stay tuned. All right, and here we are back with the Magic Made by Witches. I will put that on after I get out of the shower, as well as some Sterling Sharp Dressed Man, but I'm gonna shower first. So today we had a sort of round 2 between the Harry's and the Defender. Like I said, for efficiency, for quickness, speed of a head shave, this guy does better. For smoothness, you know, design, a little more comfort perhaps, this one. However, I would mention that these offer different blades. So if you feel like the regular blade is a little rough, maybe try some of the others, because they may be just as smooth as the Harry's. But just based on their standard offerings, efficient, smooth. That's the way I would lay it out. And of course, once again, we want to show you the West Coast Shaving Barbershop, which is a barbershop type scent, cooling. Very, very good stuff. Duck fat formula from Oleo. So check that out at West Coast Shaving. Thanks everybody for watching. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB. You're not. God bless.